Together, they worked hard to survive in a hostile environment that was determined to throw them out forever. 2 horrible droughts decimated the domestic animals, making survival difficult. More than 70% of the population of Mauritania lived on the pastures. The nomads' numbers have been reduced by 50% in the last 20 years. But they held out, and the reward was not wealth, but dignity. The dignity carved from strokes of silence and days lost without traces of water. The dignity of knowing how to look death in the eye with determination and to move on unharmed. Stronger, still proud to inhabit the desert.
Our mother told us that God created the desert as a place to roam freely. He called the wind from the south, the wind from the north, and all the other winds, and he ordered them to come together. He took a handful of this perfect blend, and the camel was born, for the glory of Allah and for the benefit of man. He tied compassion to its feet, he tossed treasures on its back, and he gave wealth to the sincere. He gave birds the ability to fly, and tied freedom to the camel's tail.
The desert is not only made of sand and silence. The nomads always needed cities to return to, reference points to determine impossible distances. This is how Tombouctou, Agadez, Insalah, and Chinguetti came about. Stable realities for a shifting world. Chinguetti is the holiest city of the Saharan desert. To die among its decrepit walls is to die a little less. Islam penetrated the Sahara the same way everything happens in the desert, slowly but relentlessly. It arrived from distant Arabia, loaded with absolute truths, and in just a few years, that unique God was reborn, accompanied by other gods and foreign spirits, by fetishes and holy men that protect a man during his life and guide him after death towards paradise. The God of the desert is a crossbred God.
I spend my time preparing for the Getna celebration, going from one place to another. In just a few days, the rest of my relatives will arrive from Nouakchott, and we will go to the palm grove. I have just come from Salif's home to invite him to the celebration. Salif is the best griot, or storyteller, in Chinguetti. He also plays the tedinit, the traditional guitar. Everyone else has turned to electric guitars and uses amplifiers so that they can be heard from as far as possible. At night, when there is a celebration somewhere, you can hear the music from a distance of many kilometers. Salif is different. He still tells the stories of the ancient legends and plays the music of the Haima games.
Mahmoud's aunts, Aisha and Fatima, have been living alone for more than a decade. They are married, but their husbands are traders based in Nouakchott. They only return home a few times a year, which is just enough time for their wives to become pregnant. The next time they return home, these men will meet their new children. In this way, the women share numerous offspring that are supported thanks to the Craftswomen's Cooperative. They founded it, and today there are 14 women working and living in the same circumstances. They mainly work with lamb and camel skin. Mahmoud buys book covers from them, and the nomads order cushions or wineskins for water.
Old Yeslim practically forms part of the family. He worked for my father for many years. When we abandoned the nomadic life, he settled in the city, where he continued to work as a blacksmith, his lifelong profession. Yeslim was never a slave. He was treated like one of the family. Even today, my relationship with him is that of a grandfather and a grandson. I remember how he would join my father and Ali by the fire at night. They would tell stories about how the Regibats attacked the city and how everyone ran as far away as possible to hide.
Things have changed, but the world is not better or worse, just different. Before, work was much more difficult. There was less food, but we could find water easily. Tourism has brought a lot of progress. I could not live just from the orders from the people here. Foreigners order locks, keys, pins. Some even bring me the measurements of their front door.
To satisfy the demand for meat, Chinguetti's camel slaughterer sacrifices 3 or 4 a week. Due to the Getna, the population doubles, and they kill a camel a day. Before cutting the camel's neck, it is placed facing Mecca. The animal falls to the ground without any commotion, and the butchering begins, which lasts almost an hour. The camel is, as they say, a recent arrival to the desert. Before the renowned caravan routes, the so-called cart routes had existed in Roman times. These routes connected the Mediterranean with sub-Saharan Africa, but the journey was made in horse-drawn carts. It's also true that at that time, the Sahara was not as vast as it is today, and the journey was not as difficult. Due to the dunes' gradual advance, it became impossible for horses to make the trip, and so camels were imported from Arabia. They quickly became essential for the men of the desert. What would have become of mankind in the Sahara without camels? Without camels, the desert would only be a home for scorpions. No part of the camel is wasted, whether dead or alive. The head, hoofs, tail, everything is eaten and used in many ways. The hump is not an enormous water deposit, as we all believed as children, but an energetic fat mass that is the camel's true engine. A good hump doubles the sale price, and at the market, it is the most solicited part of the camel. The hump and the liver are the most expensive. The rest of the internal organs are the least expensive. The camel is a democratic and solitary animal, in life and in death. Alive, they have served as a king's mount and as the slave's beast of burden. Once at the market, the camels are butchered into delicacies for nobles and protein for the less wealthy.
يا منادم تمنين جي اسمع دي نقول لك تمنين جي وقف
انا كي 600
عندي اللي اخذ بدك ديك في التمنين
ايوه تودي له زين مد طيب بنكذب وين هذا
لكن هيدا ولد وصار
My uncle Da and Selmu, my third brother, have not come to Chinguetti for a long time. Selmu works in Nouakchott, heading a computer project, and my uncle Da emigrated to France in 1989. Selmu has come back, but Da has not returned since our mother died about 5 years ago. We have not come together for the Getna festival since then.